Chivayo has responded to South African authorities who have consistently referred to him as a person of interest, saying he is not a person of interest, but rather he is an interesting person. There is no level of arrogancy surpassing this actually response. It demonstrates the kind of personality that Zimbabweans have to deal with. In fact, he's saying he's not a person of interest. Rather, he is an interesting person. This is the characterization that the South African authorities have described Wicknell Chivayo, especially when responding to questions as to why Cyril Ramaphosa, when he visited Zimbabwe, he was seen taking pictures with this man and also sitting in a meeting with of interest in the Republic of South Africa. He's saying, I'm not that person, I'm an interesting person. Greetings and welcome to your lovely channel, the Hlonipani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So, Wicknell Chivayo has posted another message also responding to the phrase a person of interest. He's saying he's not a person of interest, rather he's an interesting person. He says, I am just an interesting person, not a person of interest. Over the past few days, social media has been awash with various allegations, counter allegations, assumptions, and conspiracy theories emanating from private visit by His Excellency President Ramaphosa to Zimbabwe. He maintains it was a private visit, whilst the government of South Africa says it was a working visit. So he goes on to say, private visit by His Excellency President Ramaphosa to Zimbabwe. What should ordinarily have been celebrated as a brotherly and comradely engagement between two neighboring heads of state has unfortunately been taken out of context by certain overzealous opposition detractors who appear determined to manufacture controversy where none exists. Surprisingly, in the court of public opinion, some have inferred that I am the so-called person of interest. That is what the government of South Africa has in fact says, vaguely referring to in a statement surrounding the visit. From my understanding of the remarks made by the presidency spokesperson, no individual was ever identified by name, and I therefore find it necessary, purely in the public interest and for purposes of setting the record straight, to briefly clarify a few issues. So he's saying the person of interest that was talked about by the government of South Africa is not him, because they did not name the person. He says, one, for the record, I am a well-established and successful businessman of unquestionable integrity, really, and I am not wanted in connection with any criminal offense, whether in Zimbabwe, South Africa, or any other jurisdiction whatsoever. This is a position which the Interpol has even confirmed on several occasions. South Africa is practically my second home, and coincidentally, as I post here, I am in Cape Town on holiday with my wife, kids, and friends. I have often in the past and even recently traveled openly and freely through normal immigration channels without the slightest difficulty. If I were indeed some person of interest, as social media prosecutors allege, I would have obviously been detained, questioned, indicted, and subjected to some form of official process. None of that has happened because the reality is often less exciting than the fiction many stupid people on social media desperately wish to create around the name Chivayo. which is not only a superior but unique and blessed name. Interesting. Two, my limited understanding of VVIP security protocols is that so is also, I think, still hammering the position of South Africa, because they say Ramaphosa did not know. He says, my limited understanding of VVIP security protocols is that no individual gets into close proximity with any sitting head of state, later on forms part of any delegation without extensive security vetting, screening, and clearance by the relevant state security institutions. It is therefore quite astonishing that some sections of the public, especially failed opposition members in both Zimbabwe and South Africa, appear to believe that businessmen, I think this is referring to DA also, who were present during the visit, simply emerged from nowhere. If anything, I was deeply honored and privileged to have been part of the delegation that welcomed President Ramaphosa. I must, however, urge the African Twitter detectives and prosecutors to direct this same energy towards denouncing the prevalent xenophobia attacks, armed robberies, and kidnappings. South Africa is an amazingly beautiful country, but rich people have to move around with 15 armed and special forces trained bodyguard in fear for our lives. And then three, I have also noticed an apparent confusion and unfortunate conflation between myself and my young brother, Joachim Chivayo. The name Chivayo is highly recognizable, and whether people like it or not, naturally attracts public curiosity and attention. Everyone associated with it is somehow linked to big business, success, or influence in one form or another. Joachim is my little brother, whom I love and hold with the highest respect. And I say this publicly and without any fear of confrontation. However, I cannot meaningfully comment on matters relating to his private affairs or any allegations that may have circulated online regarding his business dealings in South Africa. If there are legal processes involving him anyway, these matters are personal to him and have absolutely nothing to do with me, just as my own personal affairs have nothing to do with him. In any event, okay, let me just read the last part. It was, if there are legal processes involved in him anyway, those matters are personal to him and have absolutely nothing to do with me. It says, yes, I was that in any event. In any event, any accused person is presumed innocent until proven guilty, to be continued. Oh, he's still writing a lot. Captain Thomas Sangara responds and say, I am a well-established and successful businessman. Please list them. Somebody said he's just simply saying list those business. Since you are saying you are successful, I think Mr. Funpan, Mr. Muno, Danis, defiance and pride is a major, which is going to bring him down. Yes. Someone, Mr. T says, there is no confusion. Your brother is a suspect. Your brother is a suspect, and you are a person of interest. For now, also there is no legitimate business that you are associated with to the extent that it warrants the wealth you flaunt. Last time we saw you doing business, Zesa lost millions. Captain Thomas Sankara says you should let your PR manager, K. Mutisi, handle damage control. After all, you and Udawashi Takure are paying him. Tapera ES says, how? Mukuru Bezula. If the truth is to be told, explosion is nearing. I can tell the pressure you're having by tweeting more than thrice daily. In fact, he said more to come We expect more tweets from him. Oxtail Commander Center says, you must hope that your life do not crash land after all the noise. And then someone to actually post the case says, an online publication saying Wicknell Chivayo's brother arrested in SA, found with 15 million worth of gold. And Wanga Baka says he is a convicted criminal who supplies air maple to the government of Zimbabwe and gets paid. Air supply, basically he gets paid for supplying nothing. These two brothers are on the run and they are wanted in South Africa. They skipped bail and are currently residing freely in Zimbabwe under the protection of President Iti Mnangagwa. So Zimbabweans actually going to an extent of fetching the evidence to respond to Wicknell Chivayo. He is responding following South African authorities coming to defend President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa that he had no knowledge that he was meeting with Wicknell Chivayo. Wicknell Chivayo was a man invited by Mnangagwa, and they had no authority to actually dismiss him from the meetings that Mnangagwa had with Cyril Ramaphosa. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Is signing off. Let me love and leave you. Let's meet on the